Brother, thanks for sub, brother.
You can probably use those islands to get a better angle on the torch, no?
Whoa, can you... Oh my god. Like, can I experiment a bit? Hello?
Use your blades to swing the torch.
So I've been playing God of War Ragnarok. There's a big problem I've found with the game that is bringing down the experience for me. Though that isn't to say I don't like the game. The God of War series is one of my favourites. I enjoy being in that world, and Kratos is one of my favourite characters to follow. I've played the series since it started back in 2005. Even with the big change up, I did enjoy God of War 2018. And I am overall enjoying Ragnarok. But there is a real big problem that I'm finding really hard to look past. And it's the fact this game treats you like a damn baby.
I'm a dumb baby. I'm just a dumb baby. Give me milk. I want to fucking sleep and do shit, dude.
I want to discuss how God of War Ragnarok goes about doing that in many different ways. Most modern mainstream games these days do a lot to make sure you have the tools to always know what you are doing if you ever get stuck. Some do it better than others. I find it okay if games have the options there to make things easier if you so choose. But when it becomes frustrating is when help is forced on the player. Nakey Jakey does a great job discussing when a game goes too far with holding your hand in this Red Dead Redemption 2 video. Better than I ever could.
Park this stolen stagecoach in a secluded spot. I didn't have the radar on at the time, and I was like, all right, sweet, let me go find a spot. Oh, the game meant this specific secluded spot. Oh, I'm an idiot, dungo brain.
Basically, the way mainstream games do things these days, and really this falls mainly to the cinematic style of games, is put you on the path to follow. If you go out of that path, you fail and start again, repeating the process until you do what the developers want you to do. You can't have any creativity or really think anything through. You will do what they want you to do. Because it'll be cinematic and cool. You better switch off your brain and enjoy what they want you to enjoy. Because cinematic games are made to be like movies. You are not involved at all in the experience. Personally, I think games can do so much more than that. There's ways only gaming can enhance an experience that you'll never get with a movie. But for some reason mainstream games want to keep these things basic. Now from what I understand and think, developers want to dumb down their games to make sure everyone can play. They don't want people getting stuck on anything and dropping the game, so they do a lot of hand holding to keep progressing every player through. Ragnarok goes too far and doesn't give options to the player who wants a challenge, which I'll get into. Now I'm not saying I don't enjoy cinematic games, I love the Uncharted series. The earlier games are as linear as they come, and you are basically just following the game along. As well as the older God of War games were just linear cinematic experiences. I love them all, and go back to them often. Those games though, I never felt like I was being handheld. Even if I was, it wasn't in my face. Those games had a good balance of keeping the pace but not making you feel dumb while doing it. As well as those games were short, impactful experiences. And in the cinematic moments, most of the time you were actually playing through them. Instead of recently where most games take away control so you can watch how cool the moment is. Leading more towards how a movie would work. No one wants to watch a 30-hour movie. Talking into detail about how cinematic games play is a whole other thing, so I won't go into detail with that topic. But what I think goes into hand-holding with those type of games is they want to keep you on pace. Which is why you will get screen hints, environmental hints, characters telling you what to do or give you ideas of how to progress. This all works to keep you within a movie-like experience, which is mainly what cinematic games are, trying to be movies. Kojima is someone who has always gone towards the cinematic feel for his games. Plus he is pretty bad for hand-holding. Like I know how to climb a ladder, my man.
Snake, if you want to go up or down a ladder, just press the action button by the ladder.
Not only with the gameplay, but also in the story with making characters repeat themselves over and over again. In saying that, God of War Ragnarok somehow is even worse. Now, when you go into a open or semi-open world, you make the player feel like they can do more than they actually can when developers go for the Uncharted cinematic style. God of War 2018 was in most part a linear experience, with a semi-open world section thrown in. Ragnarok though has a bunch of these semi-open world sections to explore, and boy does this game hate it when you go off and do your own thing. Now, I won't be spoiling the story beats of Ragnarok in this video. This is not a review of the game. I'm not talking about everything. Personally, I haven't even finished the game. I'm just speaking on what I've experienced after about 15 to 20 hours of play. And this is of course just my opinion. If you love everything about the game, fantastic. This video serves as a conversation. So comment below whether you have been having the same issues as me and what you think, or comment how much you love the game. Don't let this video cloud your judgment. Make your own opinions. Now, when starting most games, you'd expect a game to hold your hand a little so you can get an idea of the mechanics, which is cool. The issue with Ragnarok though is they will stop your gameplay for the most simplest of things. Can't I just go into the menus myself and work it out instead of forcing me to go through the menus? You can't even click out until you do what they want to show you. It doesn't seem that hard to grasp. The game overdoes it with showing you how to play, always giving hints on the screen long after you've been using the element they are hinting. The biggest issue with hand-holding though is your buddies. They are basically with you to make sure you stay on the path the developers want you on. And if you go off to explore or take too long to go where the characters want you, they will make sure to let you know.
Right this way, Kratos. Does he seem mad?
Father, can we go inside?
Like when Tyr joins your crew. If you go off to find hidden chests, which I personally do a lot, Tyr will let you know you were going the wrong way. Atreus will interject to say you like looking around for loot. Okay then, that's fine. But it keeps happening.
Kratos, where are you going?
He's just looking around. He does this sometimes.
Ah, a curious guy. Carry on.
Further up we go.
Great.
The shrine is this way, Kratos.
Yeah, he knows. We just like to be thorough.
By all means.
Every time you go off the main path, Tyr will make a comment about it. What the fuck? And this happens a lot with other characters through the game. I know it's somewhat realistic for someone to ask where you were going if you go in the wrong direction from following someone's lead, but this is a video game. It's annoying to have someone question everything I do. It makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong, even though you were rewarding me with chests. This is so frustrating. The world is beautiful and I want to have a look around, but to do that I have to hear someone tell me basically to hurry up. They want to make sure you know you are going the wrong way for the story, because they think you will get lost or turn off the game, I guess. It's like they don't want you to admire all the details that people put countless hours into making come to life and continue the story at the pace the developers want. This game is beautiful. Why not let me enjoy it in peace? An annoying thing with a lot of these modern cinematic games is they try way too hard to be like a movie but forget we are playing a video game and it's meant to be fun. You don't have to make things annoying just for the sake of realism. Now, puzzles are where the main issues come up when it comes to hand-holding the player. As you go through the environments, you'll have small roadblocks or big puzzle rooms to solve. There is a lot spread out through the environments. Now, to really get a grasp of what to do, of course your first time through you'll be looking around and experimenting with the environments to get an idea of what to do with a big puzzle. But you better not do that in this game.
Think you can uncover that geyser from here? Oh, I think I get it. If you freeze the geyser, the pressure will turn the wheel.
Maybe you could try hitting the rope holding the block.
What the hell?
If you don't do exactly what you were meant to do the first time through, your powers will spring to action and tell you how to do it all. and they will continue to do so as you go through the puzzle. You get to an area and you wouldn't even be looking around for long before one of the characters starts barking at you to go a certain way or do this or do that. It really takes away from the immersion and exploration the game has. Even Atreus, the way he is standing in rooms, will point you in the right direction. So many things work to make sure you know exactly what you are doing at all times. This is absolutely ridiculous. Do gamers really seem that dumb that we can't be given things to actually work out ourselves? Having someone tell you what to do takes away all the feelings of accomplishment that you could have got working it out yourself. It's such a shame though, because I think the puzzles are actually not bad. But the constant here's exactly what to do next all the time makes it all completely mindless. How am I meant to feel like Kratos? I feel like a dumb idiot who can't think or observe for more than a second at a time. Stop treating me like a baby!
No!
There's so many accessibility features with the game, but one thing they don't have is an option to turn off all the backseating in the game. With the difficulty settings, you have an option called Give Me Story. Having your buddies tell you what to do in combat and with puzzles makes sense with that difficulty. Most people who don't play games would go on that difficulty. Even though if you're going to go into a difficulty called Give Me Story, YouTube is a thing. But to have all the hand holding even with the highest difficulty is really nuts. This game has been built around Nana and Papa playing it. Now it's good that the game is accessible for everyone. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. My Nana or little Timmy can jump on. That's great. But give the people who really want to feel accomplished and have a challenge the options to do so. You can turn down the hints the game gives you and overall trials, but none of it completely goes away. You can't completely get rid of it all, and the narration from your buddies can't be turned off. If there was an option to turn it all off, I wouldn't even be complaining. The fact that it is there is good for people who want it or need it. But for people who don't, give us the option. Plus there's ways to give people tips without forcing it in our faces. Like having a prompt pop up on the screen to reveal a hint if you wanted it, for example. I haven't even seen reviewers even point out the issues I've mentioned in this video. Which makes me think, am I crazy? Am I overthinking all this? Or are people okay just to play mindless games? Seeing reviewers give this a 10 out of 10 and saying it's a masterpiece, but not even looking at these types of issues is really sad to me. I'm really over this type of play within gaming. The over-the-top hand-holding. Not that it's never been there, but it's as strong as ever now. It's more in your face instead of being an option. Ragnarok is the first game in a while I've felt frustrated by the hand-holding. And I really hope more games don't take an example, which is why it pains me to see people not mentioning these issues, but just keep praising the game. Games that recently came out like Elden Ring or Signalis are diamonds in the rough with actually letting you work things out. And not everyone is going to be able to play those games, but they are way ahead in making you feel like an adult and accomplished through their experiences. The main thing that games need is to find a balance. Ragnarok could have given us options to turn off all the hand holding. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, I'm enjoying Ragnarok. Combat can be fun, the game is beautiful, and I really can't believe how incredible it runs on the PS4. As well as the story, most characters and settings are pretty good. I'm a massive fan of the series. I love the franchise. I have all the games and have read a lot of the side material. The original mainline trilogy is legendary to me. But the issues that I have mentioned are a massive problem in gaming now. And Ragnarok is only enhancing it all. I really hope people start talking about these issues more. I am seeing people complain about these issues here and there, and I'm not saying the game shouldn't be praised, because at the end of the day, a lot of work has gone into this game. The developers have done wonders here and they should be proud. But you can still love a game and praise it to the moon and back, while also bringing up what isn't good. Thank you for watching.